They have proved that they don't protect you. They will never accept you as members before you have resolved your conflicts. They are not prepared to take any risks in getting into war with Russia in order to defend Georgia or Georgian interests in Ossetia and Abkhazia. And they proved that with this war. So I mean, that question is, even if there were some beliefs, now I think that question is settled. There is no use, you have no use for NATO, because they will not protect you. And most commentators agree on this. So that's why I think that those politicians who still talk about NATO, they could forget about it and drop it. Whatever they like, they could drop it, because it's no more realistic and more than I no use it. Could the war have been avoided? I think, of course, the war could have been avoided. I know about all these Russian provocations and everything, and I already mentioned I'm highly critical of their using the stick or the whip all the time. But I don't think they would attack Georgia if they did not have an excuse. They needed an excuse in order to attack Georgia in the way they did. If they hadn't had that excuse, they wouldn't have done it. I don't think so. Not the war. Could it be resolved? Well, this is a so long history, and there were mistakes done by both sides many, many times. Of course. Also by the West, or by Europe. I mean, for instance, Europe has acknowledged the independence of Kosovo. Maybe we should do that someday. But we cannot deny that it has been exploited by Russia to say that, okay, such small autonomous areas, apparently, according to the European Union, have, in principle, the right to become independent nations. And so why not Abkhazia and South Ossetia? And so they exploit Kosovo. And that was a mistake, I think, by the European Union to do it so early. Maybe it was unavoidable in the long run because relations between Kosovo and Serbs are very bad, and in the long run we want all of them to become into members in the European Union, and then, as I have repeated over and over again, then the borders will be irrelevant. That's the whole point of it. Otherwise it's no use with the European Union. So what you should do? Well, I will not give too much advice. It is like coming from outside and giving advice, but the goal must be what I call good working relations with Russia. And Georgia has some part in it, and Russia has a very large part in it. But it is needed because your own economists here in Georgia, Georgian economists and others, have pointed to the fact that Russia economically, despite the political crisis, has been stronger and stronger in Georgia.